Let's move on from there into our discussion for the episode. And we mentioned Man United a little bit, and we're just going to talk about Man United and what's going on at the club at the minute, because to be perfectly honest, it is an absolute shambles at Manchester United right now. And it's not really giving me much hope. It's really not giving me much hope for next season. You're smiling because you're loving life.
I'm having a great time. The window's been we're 2 weeks into the window. I'm having a lovely time.
The first thing I want to talk about in terms of Man United, let's just get it out the way quickly. The owner situation.
Yeah.
It was looking like a couple of weeks ago, it was looking like it was done. It's like we're going to get an announcement soon, and we still haven't. It's still unknown what's going on. Talks are continuing. We just don't really know anymore.
And you say get it out of the way quickly, but I kind of feel like this whole transitional period is the main reason why all these other problems are going on.
Once you get the Qataris, a lot of your problems will go away. As much as I don't know if we should talk about them as is it good that the Qataris are coming in, but they will literally fix all your financial problems immediately. I mean, because I've been saying it for a while. Man United spend a lot of money, they always do. This summer, ironically, is the perfect time to get the Qataris, because it's actually finally caught up with you. And if they come in, I mean, they've said they'll fix the debt, won't they?
Yes, the debt that
is 700 mil now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it came out last night that it's about 750 million.
It was 400 last year.
It's ridiculous.
But yeah, I mean, they'll do that. Suddenly, you might go back in from out and just add another 5 mil, which you may have to. I think you may have to pay 60 for him.
The thing is, with this owner situation, even if we confirm that they're coming in, it won't be instant.
No,
it will not be.
It takes a long time.
I'm telling you now, the summer transfer window right now for Man United, in my head, is a write-off. It's a complete write-off. We won't have the Qataris by the end of this transfer window. We might not even have them by January.
I'll be honest. I think I said this at the end of the season when I was thinking about how we can't predict the season yet. We need to hold off on that until the very last minute before the first ball gets kicked. But I was saying at the end of the season, who's our top 4 next season? And I thought City, yeah. I think Arsenal, yeah. I think Newcastle's a maybe. And I thought, do Man United stay in the top 4? Because teams are going to improve. And I thought, you really need to get your window right. And it's looking like you won't. And I do think Man United, at the current moment in time, won't get top 4 next season.
You're cruising for a bruising.
Yes, I've been saying for the past couple of days that I think we finish 6th, 7th at the rate it's going, at the rate other teams are going, and the rate that Man United are going.
I think 7th's a bit harsh, but
because I genuinely see.
You talked to me and you said you thought Chelsea, Liverpool, and Spurs would finish above you.
I think the way it's going, it's looking like it's a possibility.
I think Liverpool do. I'll be honest, Liverpool right now, I'm thinking might break back into the top 4. I mean, but Spurs, do you think Spurs are going to finish above?
Potentially.
Chelsea, we need to wait
at the rate. Look at the rate that Spurs are going. Let's say we talked about Vicario. Let's say they get Raya as well. Let's say they get Maddison. They'll probably bring in some more people.
They permanently signed Kulusevski.
Yeah, exactly. They're just bringing.
Is that a new signing?
Bringing in more people.
I mean, it's done. Yeah.
They're bringing in more and more people. Their squad is getting better. Let's say they keep Kane as well. You honestly never know.
Yeah, and all it takes is for Son to get back into top form as well, and he's a world-class player again.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, they have potential there, and you're kind of stagnating. But there's
you
other
had a good season last year. Don't go overly pessimistic into this, because you still have a good squad. You've got a manager.
Obviously.
You love Ten Hag, don't you?
I love Ten Hag.
You worship.
I love our squad.
Right? So,
and I don't think as well at the start of last season, a lot of people were going, Man United are going to have the season that they did eventually.
I had you for 5th. And you got 3rd.
And you still did terrifically well. Granted, you made some great signings.
Yes.
And you might not now, but still, those players are still at the club.
Let's talk about business. Let's talk about signings. Firstly, Mason Mount. It's looking like it's fallen through in a way.
I think he'll come back in for him.
We probably will come back in for him. However, it's not looking that promising.
He can't stay at Chelsea.
Mason Mount wants to leave.
He can't stay at Chelsea. And you know what? I heard what they've done when they offered him his contract. And I thought he was rejecting their money. But the money wasn't the problem. They offered him only a 2-year deal. And he's just there going, Mudrik's on 8.
Yes.
What am I doing here? I've come through the academy. I've been one of the best players at the club for the last few years. And you're offering me 2 years. So I completely understand why he rejected it. So, yeah, he's been pushing for a move. He's agreed personal terms with another club. You can't do that and then just go, Joe, yeah, I'll stay for the season. Because imagine being a Chelsea fan watching him play for the entire season.
Yeah.
I remember when Sanchez didn't leave on deadline day and watching him for that half season before he eventually left.
It's painful.
It was just weird. Because every time he scored a goal, I was like, is his heart in it? You know what I mean?
But, you know, the Manchester United have submitted three bids, and the word going around was, once that third bid is rejected, we're out. We're leaving that deal. And the third bid got rejected, so it's not... Obviously, I talked about Mason Mount on the YouTube channel, and one quote that I remember from the video from myself was, when we signed Mason Mount, literally saying emphasis on the when. And now it's not looking as likely.
I mean, you never know what's going to happen. We're sitting there, you know, all happy because Declan Rice is about to...
City are going to bid 200 mil in 10 minutes' time. You know?
You never know.
Actually, John, I'm worried myself now, so I actually need to check.
So that's Mason Mount. Rabiot is another player that has fallen through. I wasn't entirely sure about Rabiot signing for Manchester United, but that's fallen through because he signed a contract at Juventus. So that's fallen through. More and more targets. Kane, fallen through. You know, the striker situation is incredibly unknown right now. No one knows who Man United are signing. I think every Premier League club has a definitive that's who they're signing, other than Man United. The whole situation is just a mess.
Yeah, and it's an absolute mess as well, really. And, you know, I mean, you mentioned you don't know who you're going to sign. Onana's been linked.
Yes.
Apparently, that, you know, Ten Hag's spoken to him, and they've got relations as well, haven't they, through Ajax?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that comes with the whole David De Gea news.
Yes, David De Gea's situation is also a complete mess. It came out last night, I believe, that we offered him a contract. It was accepted. Everything was going well, and Manchester United ended up saying, actually, you know what, we're gonna lower your wages even more, and obviously David De Gea is not happy.
I think that's very poor for Man United because you can't go through an entire negotiation process and then and as soon as you get close to a deal, go, do you know what? No. Imagine if Arsenal today did the entire compromise with West Ham and we're like, yeah, we've got the deal lined up, and then just before we fully get to that agreement, Arsenal go, now what if, right, we take a 5 million away from the guaranteed fee? How does that sound? Like, imagine it'd be like, no, what we've been doing the whole day, like. And it's a bit as much as I do think that David De Gea should leave, it's a bit disrespectful for Man United to do that.
Yeah, this is on a whole other scale. I mean, how long has De Gea been at Man United?
Yeah, it's like 11
years.
12 years.
Yeah, like,
to just kind of go,
like,
do you know what? Make it even like that.
He's a Man United legend. He's a Man United legend.
I mean, I was reading earlier, 4 Player of the Season awards. That's the same as Cristiano Ronaldo.
You know? Yeah, he's got more. He's got the joint most Player of the Year awards at Manchester United, including 3 in a row.
Yes.
3 in a row is insane.
Which just shows
it says a lot about Man United.
That he carried you for those years.
Yes.
He truly did.
If you didn't have David De Gea, you might not have got top 10 in those years.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 10 years, apart from David De Gea, have Manchester United have had a best player in the world in that position?
No, definitely
David De Gea is the only one that you could say maybe in
At a
like
point in
2018, 2017, he was the best goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, he's given so much to the club, and they've kind of just gone, well, who's going to buy us, or who's going to be the new owners? Let's sort that out first. Oh wait, hang on, David De Gea is leaving. Someone needs to sort that out as well. Yeah, we don't really have any money. Can you have that much? And it's kind of just all looks a little bit unprofessional.
I do think he should go, because I think in order to become a sustainable club, you need to get players off high wages. He's on massive wages, and can you get him on cheaper? I don't think you can. I think he's going to go somewhere else.
No, and
I do think you need a new number 1 anyway. Yeah. And is he going to be happy playing number 2? No. So I think him leaving on free is the actual best option.
I think it'd be disgraceful to have him as a number 2 after what he's done for your club. I mean, I think I did read as well last season he did actually take an initial pay cut. It wasn't that heavy, and now they've turned around and tried to lower it even more for the new contract. But
the thing is with Manchester United's contracts, you can't. One of the reasons David De Gea is on such a high contract right now and he's not budging is because if you look at the other players on high wages, Jadon Sancho, you know, Harry Maguire.
Well, you listen to Office 4.
Like Scott McTominay is probably on a ridiculous contract. We have all these players on such ridiculous contracts, and that's what Manchester United do. That's the problem with Manchester United, really. I think this whole thing.
I think you're second in the league on
I feel as though every time we talk about Man United on the podcast, it always comes back to the same conclusion, that the staff that work at Manchester United behind the scenes, not obviously your negotiators, your John Murters and that sort of people.
It's just a bit weak.
It's pathetic.
Yeah.
It's pathetic, and that's why David De Gea is probably going to end up leaving. And like I'm of the opinion that I'm making a video on David De Gea that should be out fairly soon.
By the time the contract runs out.
You would hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm of the opinion that obviously David De Gea's game isn't this modern goalkeeper game.
Yeah.
And I say this in the video, but I'm going to say it again. As the saying goes, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? And that is just how it is.
He's not going to overnight be good at passing football.
I love David De Gea. I love David De Gea, but unfortunately, it's just how it goes. So unless he's going to take a massive pay cut, and we can work around that, which he's not going to, unfortunately, it is probably the time to say goodbye to David De Gea. It's a shame, but that's just how you grow as a football club. But this entire discussion has been around how awful Manchester United have been with their business right now, and just everything is going wrong at Manchester United. It doesn't seem like there's anything going right at the minute, and yeah, I don't know what more to say other than that.
No, I think you've concluded it nicely.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I mean, we've all got different perspectives, I feel, on this, and I respect your opinion on David De Gea, because he means a lot to you. He's been one of your most consistent players over the years, but he's reached a point where I think the game has just developed past him. And if he wants a lot of money, he's available on free, and when you're available on free, you get a massive sign-on bonus and a cushy wage. I'm not saying he has to go to Saudi Arabia, but someone will probably pick him up.
Yeah.
He has the option to go back to Spain, and I don't think it's the best thing for both parties to just split.
Hey, you!
Yeah?
Yes, you!
How did you get in my house?
Do you like YouTube?
Yeah?
Sometimes find it a bit dull?
No, I love YouTube.
Then you should subscribe to the Football in Question YouTube channel.
Why?
They've got podcast clips, original content, and also they have your family hostage.
What?
Like I said, subscribe now!
If you want to see your family again, subscribe now.
Mum,